Hey everybody, welcome to this video. I just wanted to make a quick intro so that it wouldn't be like an awkward cutoff, but I just wanted to give you a little background. I know how hard it is sometimes to get vegetables in, especially when you're just starting out and you don't really like them and you're not used to eating them, because I had that problem when I first started. I absolutely hated vegetables, and any sort of green thing disgusted me, and I thought it was a joke to even eat it. But I progressed and now I can actually eat vegetables all by themselves now without even seasoning. So it's a process, but if you want to start your process, then these few recipes can help you. So if you're interested, then just keep on watching. So the first recipe is going to be green pancakes. Now don't freak out, I know it looked kind of odd and iffy when you saw that first clip, but basically all you're going to want to do is get your favorite pancake base, and mine being 2 eggs, 1 banana, half a cup of oats, and I'm going to throw in some spinach in there. And trust me, you cannot taste the spinach at all. That's what makes these pancakes so amazing. You get your greens in and everything like that. So go ahead and just blend it up all in your blender. It's super easy. And then cook them like regular pancakes. So I just had this great idea, which I don't know why I didn't think of earlier, considering it is the holiday season now, but you can totally go ahead and throw in some red sprinkles into the mix, and it'll be much more kid friendly if they see that it's more Christmas themed than just random green pancakes that you're serving them, or even yourself. It can be more pleasing to you as well. Now you're going to see here that I'm going to be putting some cashew butter right in the middle. Basically, cashew butter, if you don't know what it is, it's peanut butter, but instead of peanuts, they use cashews. And I'm sprinkling or drizzling on some maple syrup, not the Aunt Jemima maple syrup, the pure maple syrup that you read the ingredients and it says pure maple syrup. And that's it. So these pancakes are so good. I promise you, you cannot taste any sort of vegetable inside of them. And they're a great thing to have first thing in the morning because it's super healthy and super filling and delicious. So now on to one of my favorite green smoothies of all time. First off, you're going to need egg whites, your greens. I used kale, a banana, a date, peanut butter, and flaxseed. So for the liquid in this recipe, we are using the egg whites because they are pasteurized and safe to eat. But if that kind of grosses you out, then you can go ahead and sub it for almond milk or do half and half, something like that. And the date is there to add sweetness, but if you don't have any dates, then you can go ahead and use some honey or some pure maple syrup, and that would work just as well. So basically, just get all the ingredients, blend them up, and you have your delicious green smoothie that you cannot taste any green in, I promise. And it's there to drink for you, and it's super healthy, so I hope you enjoy that one too. So the next recipe are these delicious sweet potato pancakes. They're honestly my new favorite. So what you're going to need is sweet potato, 2 eggs, whole wheat flour, vanilla extract, baking powder, and cinnamon. So the first thing I'm doing is peeling my sweet potatoes because in my opinion, I don't think the skin would be a good texture in the pancakes. So just go ahead and peel them. So next you're going to want to dice them up and try your best to make them equal sized pieces so that when we boil them, they cook evenly and quickly. So far too many times I've gotten splashed with boiling hot water when I try to just throw them in there. So I've decided to take on this utensil thing. I'm not sure what it's even called, but I use that instead to put things into boiling hot water now. And just let your potatoes boil until you can stick a fork through them. For me, it took about 10-15 minutes. And just mash them up like you would mashed potatoes, like regular mashed potatoes. So go ahead and take a half cup of this sweet potato mash, and that's going to be the base of the recipe. So then you're going to add in 2 eggs to that and whisk it all together so that they evenly combine with each other. Next, I forgot to mention this in the ingredients, but you're going to want to have some almond milk, and don't worry, all the recipes will be in the description box so you don't have to worry about that. Next, go ahead and add in your wheat flour, your baking powder, and your cinnamon, some vanilla extract, and then whisk that all together, and then you'll have your pancake batter. I'm obsessed with a lot of things, but I'm actually obsessed with these pancakes because they are so fluffy and just so delicious. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of them. But I like to top mine with honey or pure maple syrup, and in this case I topped mine with pistachios and almonds, and it was so good and a nice crunch to them. So the next recipe is this vegan version of a tuna salad that I usually make, and instead of using mayo I like to use avocado. So you're gonna need chickpeas, avocado, mustard, and salt, and also very important is lemon, which I forgot to add here, but that just keeps the avocado from browning. So the first thing you're going to want to do is mash up your chickpeas. You can do this with a fork or a food processor, which would be a lot easier, but I went with a fork to show you that you can do it both ways fine. And go ahead and mash in your avocado and all your other ingredients and then mix it together. Like I said before, I do usually make this with tuna, not always chickpeas. So if you don't like chickpeas or you just don't want to use them, you can go ahead and use tuna by all means, and it's basically the same concept. This one's just a vegan version, the other one is obviously not. So 2 ways that I like to enjoy this are either with crackers just by themselves, or you can stick it into a pita bread and throw in some greens. Obviously if you don't like vegetables then you don't have to, but that's just what I like to do. So my favorite recipe of this whole video is this delicious cauliflower sauce, which I usually use with pasta. And what you'll need is cauliflower, almond milk, onion, garlic, butter, which you can also sub out for oil, and salt. And the first thing I do when I make this cauliflower sauce is obviously destem the cauliflower, take off all the leaves and stuff like that. And once you get past this part, which is kind of annoying for me, the rest of the recipe is pretty easy. So what you're going to want to do now is just slice up the onion and garlic and then put that in a pan to saute with the butter. And if you want, like I said before, you can definitely use olive oil or something like that, or even that non-stick cooking spray if you really want to avoid any high fats in this recipe. But it just adds a great flavor, which I really recommend if you're going to be eating healthy or eating vegetables. You really want there to be good flavor. So go ahead and throw in your chopped cauliflower into the boiled water and let it boil until it becomes soft and you can poke a fork through them. And then once all of your onion and garlic is finished sauteing, you can go ahead and set that aside and you'll see what we do with it next. So literally all you have to do is throw all the rest of the ingredients into the blender and blend it up. The recipe is super easy. The only thing that you have to make sure that you're doing is letting the steam escape from your blender. So you can see that I left the little circle thing open so that the steam can escape the blender and nothing blows up on you. You might also want to split the amount of times that you do this, so don't just throw all the cauliflower into the blender at once because it might not fit and it might overflow. Just make sure that you do it half and half. And as you can see, I just added it to the pasta. Make sure you taste it and make sure that you like it. You can always add in some cheese or some nutritional yeast if you're vegan, but I like to top mine off with Parmesan cheese and parsley because I just think it looks pretty and it honestly tastes really good. So this was it for the video, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. And if you got any recipe ideas that you're really excited to try out, let me know in the comments. And if you saw some that maybe you hadn't seen before and you were like, oh okay, that's interesting, comment that down below too. And if you have any other video requests, I'd love to hear them, so comment that down below too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, much love.